Hey guys, Piper or Treetop Piper here. Just gonna do a first impression of the old select mixture action, and read you off the back of the tin description. So, first impressions of Smoker's Haven select mixture. Not as much as with that in between, because that was a freaking 5-year-old tin, but a little bit of pressure nonetheless. Anyway, figured we'd go ahead and get down to brass tacks. Cup of Joe, as usual. I was falling asleep on the ride home. I need a little pick me up. So I made a cup of coffee. But anyway, let's pop this sucker. Okay, okay. It made a little like a can of Coke would. Ooh. Aha. This has a little bit of age. Or some of the ingredients like that Latakia has some age on it. You can see it's got let me see if I can convey this without. Maybe you guys will be able to see it. I mean, I'm trying to get the crystals to show up here. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. But, it's just silver. The tobacco is silver. Hang on. Let's see if that'll do something here. No. Doesn't do it justice. Really, truly doesn't do it justice. But let's give it a whiff here. Yeah, I can definitely smell the Latakia and the Turkish. Definitely smell them, but you can definitely tell there's a lot more sweetness to this blend than the in-between mixture, which I thought was quite sweet smelling compared to exotic mixture. Not as sweet as cognac, obviously. It doesn't have the topping, but this has more of a natural sweetness even than the in-between mixture does, which is really nice. Picking up some mild fruitiness, some bready, some bread notes and some fruit notes. Almost like, say, sweetbread, something like that. Some kind of a sweetbread, which is outstanding. I can see the quality of the leaf just by looking at it right off the bat. And I'll show you guys what we're working with here. Oh, it's not quite a ribbon cut like the in between, but it's a little thicker than a shag, I would say. So I guess maybe this is their string cut. It's not as thin as the exotic, I don't think. Um, Not quite as thin cut or as thinly sliced, but as you guys can see, not a whole lot of Latakia to speak of in here. Not a lot of Latakia. There is some. You can see it in there. I mean, there's definitely a decent little helping. Hang on, let me see. I'm trying to figure out where I need to present it so you guys can see it the best. Or maybe I can come from this side here. Oh yeah, there we go. Can you guys see? We got these long strips. Lots of, I would say, you can definitely see that there's a lot more Virginias in here than the other ones. Because it's a little more red, I would say, than the others, where the others were a little bit more golden or bright, I guess, from all the Orientals. This has a little bit more of a red look to it. Just an outstanding looking tobacco, though. Just outstanding. And what I like to do is, because sometimes the Latakia yeah, see, at the bottom, there's all the Latakia. And what I hate, I repeat, what I absolutely hate is when I just pull off the top, smoke a bunch of bowls, and then I'm left with mostly Latakia at the end. So what I like to do is kind of make sure that it's well mixed. You know, I just want to make sure that I'm not going to end up with a bunch of Latakia at the bottom, because I just can't stand that. Yeah, there's a decent bit of Latakia in here, and then there's even some. Is that pressed? Oh yeah, we got some pressed Virginia in there. Okay, so some of this was pressed into flakes, or was at least pressed somewhat, and then and there's crystals on it. Oh yeah, these Virginias got some age to them. Just great looking tobacco here. Great looking tobacco. I mean, all of it. All of it here. The Latakias, the English or the Latakias, the Orientals, and even the Virginias. You know, I've seen some sparkling from the Virginias there. So this to me looks like just a fantastic mixture. You know, even though they say it's light on Latakia, I want to say it's probably still got a nice helping, and a very nice helping. We got a twig here, which is kind of, I would say, is a little out of place. Typically, there isn't much of that to go around. Let me see. I just want to make sure that I get a good mixture of this. I don't want it to be too Latakia heavy, you know, and I don't want it to be nothing but Virginias either. I want to get a good dose of everything here. But I'm actually quite surprised. I think this is the first Smoker's Haven that I've seen pressed Virginias in. Now, I've seen, like in the cognac mixture, there was some pressed Latakia. I would say it looked like it had been pressed. But this is like some kind of a really, really high moisture content leaf or something. Yeah, there's some like white bits of stem and stuff. But anyway, smells fantastic. Very sweet, almost like the cognac mixture. And I don't think this has an additive. I don't think it has any sort of casing or any sort of casing or top note. So that means that it's just got some kick-ass Virginias. Really and truly. Really and truly. That just means it has some sweet, sweet, sweet Virginias in it. Whew. You get a little bit of smokiness in the background there from the Latakia. And a little tanginess from the Orientals, but the dominant note is these Virginias, these sweet Virginias. And there are some flecks here, some oddly shaped flecks that aren't ribbon. Like I said, there was some pressed Virginias, and all the Latakia has crystals on it. I don't think I've seen any of the Latakia that wasn't just glistening with white crystallization. So, oh yeah, this is just looking like an outstanding blend. And the moisture content from tin is pretty much typical of all these Smoker's Haven blends. Not too moist, not too dry. I like to dry my tobacco. I don't want it to be perfect when I open the tin. I want it to be just slightly dry, wet, to where I need 5 minutes of dry time. Because it gives me a little bit more, shall we say, gives me a little bit more control over the tobacco. So anyway, I'm going to let this dry, and I will come back, do the first light, and then come back with the conclusion. So anyway, back here, guys. Just did the char light. Now I'm going to do probably another char light and then the true light. That first one I typically use my finger for, because it's not, an ember yet, but I just got out of the shower and I don't want to mess up that clean feeling, because that's what happens once I do it that first time. My hands feel dirty. So right off the bat, it's definitely got this a nice sweetness to it, similar to like the cognac mixture. but it's a natural sweetness. Whereas I would almost contend that the cognac mixture is kind of natural too. I don't think they put much cognac on it at all. I think they just use a really sweet grade of Virginias. Mm, just absolutely lovely. Have my softie on the Dunhill, so I'm not going to be clenching, which I don't mind, honestly. Sometimes I like to just barely touch it to my lips and take a puff. I don't always like to clench. Sometimes I really do like to just take the softy bit off and just chooch, as my buddy old Bert would say. For it is mighty good. Mm. Whew. Just lovely. It's still got a nice little hit of Latakia. Way better than Early Morning Pipe. Way better. Early Morning Pipe is a little too dry for me, I think. Doesn't have enough sweetness to it to round out that flavor. I would want to add some more sweet Virginias to it. This would definitely be more my speed for a morning blend. It's got just a nice amount of Latakia, as you guys saw. Really just a nice, I can taste the Orientals. There's a little tanginess to it, but mostly it's kind of a sweet, fruity flavor. Sweet and fruity, but it's got this little bit of smokiness and a little tang in the background from the Orientals and the Latakia. This is really nice. Hmm. Wow. Wow. This is awesome. Very fruity. It's not topped. I know this is a straight mixture, and the grade of Virginias that they're putting in this blend is just so top quality that you just get that wonderful fruity flavor from them. With just a touch of smokiness from the Latakia and Orientals, just a touch, just the right amount. I can't even believe how nice this is. And it's crazy, but like their blends are so well balanced, and they're all different. How do they do that? How do they make a well balanced blend in so many different iterations? How do you make a blend that's more Virginia forward and it still be as well balanced as a blend that's Oriental or Latakia forward? I mean, just to really well, I guess you're classifying them differently. This would be a morning blend, whereas the cognac was great last night, and I did about a half a bowl last night, and I woke up this morning and chooched the rest, and it tasted exactly like the night before. Exactly. I couldn't believe it. And it was hard for me to put it down last night. I stayed up like an extra half hour because I just could not put it down. I was in bed watching TV, just chooching, and I could not put the bastard down. It was so good. I finally did, a little under a halfway. Exotic Mixture and Crumble Cake, they get all the attention, and then maybe Our Best Blend too. But the rest of these, they deserve way more accolades than what they have, especially on tobacco reviews. All these mixtures are top quality. They're all English mixtures because I guess they do their American blends in house. which makes perfect sense. They would get their Englishes from an English company. And every one of them is just spot on. And these are newer mixtures. These haven't been around as long as Exotic, Select, Cognac. They haven't been around as long as Our Best Blend, or I think the In Between even. Mm. I would say that the Virginia sweetness here, it's almost like a lemony, lemony blueberry, between lemons and blueberry, which is really weird, but that's what I'm getting. And it's almost, and there's just the tiniest. It's like almost like the Orientals in the Latakia just change the flavor enough. It's not just a sweet Virginia blend. It changes the addition of the Orientals and the Latakia adds character to the sweetness. It's not just a sweet Virginia blend. The Latakia and the Orientals, they add character to it. They give it a real complex flavor. It's not just a simple sweet flavor. I shit you not, I'm getting blueberries out of this right now. This tastes like blueberries. I mean, it's just so on point. This is so on point for people who like Virginias that are just trying to get into Latakia mixtures. This would be just perfect. Or for in the morning, I mean, this is awesome. Every one of these blends has just blown my hair back, and actually I'm actually really surprised how good they all are. I mean, I think these blends are as good, if not better, than most Germain and Esoterica blends. I mean, Stonehaven and Penzance included, even though you really can't include Stonehaven or Rich Dark Flake because they're not English mixtures. But as English mixtures go, I think Smoker's Haven or Germain's Smoker Haven blends have that on lock. Whatever you want, they have got it. They've got an early morning mixture. They've got an all day, like in between. This could be an all day blend as well too, if you just kind of craving something sweet. They've got the Exotic, which is practically it's an all day or an evening blend, either or. The Cognac mixture, same thing. I mean, if you're just feeling for something, a sweet English, Cognac mixture's right up there. And I haven't tried Our Best Blend yet, but that's like their really rich English, like what Nightcap is to Dunhill. Mm. It's got a sweetness similar to Special out of Kia Flake. It's just got the Virginias are so on point. It's just so well balanced. Um, and also Crumble Cake is their crown jewel, but they never release it anymore. They haven't released it in years, and the tins go for $200 a tin on eBay, and I'm just it. They don't even know if they produce it anymore, if it's ever going to be produced anymore. So I don't even consider it. I've been going after the blends that were released last year in March. Any blend that was released last year in March, I'm trying to get them all, and I only have two more to go, I think, or one more. Our Best Blend, I think, is the only other one that I have that I haven't done yet. Oh, and 20th anniversary. Yeah, it is two more. I'm sorry this review is just taking so dang long, but just in a really talkative mood. Had a good day, decent long day at work. I'm just feeling really good after that good workout at work, and had some coffee, some caffeine, and I'm just really talkative. So I'm sorry to drag out, but this blend is amazing, and I'm gonna go ahead and take some notes and finish the bowl, and I'll get back with you guys. So So I'm down to I'd say the last third or less, and man, it's just burning like wonderfully, just a pure white ash. And I remember as I packed it, like here towards the end, it's really well. At first, I packed the way I packed it. I think had an effect on the way that the blend transitioned. At first, I was getting a sweet, smoky flavor because I think I put sprinkled like some Latakia on top of these Virginias. So I was getting like a sweet, smoky, and it was coming off as like blueberries. Like had this tangy, sweet, smoky. It was like blueberry muffins, just like that. And then it was like that for the first quarter. And then the second quarter was really sweet. Like there wasn't much Latakia or Orientals in the second quarter. And it got kind of, not bitey, but just, I felt a little tingle here and there, like I do from really bitey Virginia blends. Like really sweet Virginia blends, if you puff them too hard or get them too hot, they do that. And it was just the slightest little bit, one or two spots in my mouth, and was only maybe two puffs out of the whole smoke that happened with. Um, but anyway, once I got to the halfway point, and I remember putting Latakia right there in that spot. Once I got to the halfway point, the Latakia and the Orientals started coming out. They started coming out of their little shell and saying, "Hey, hey, bud, you know we're here too. Don't forget to enjoy us." And then just below a half, in between a quarter and a half, or let's say right around a little more than a third left, I started getting a really nice, sweet, tangy, smoky flavor that was it was not unlike like a real Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, how it's smoky, Sweet Baby Ray's on some smoked ribs. That's the flavor that I was getting up until this, from basically at the third of the last third of the bowl down. I've been getting this awesome barbecue. Just the slightest hint of sweetness. Next time I'm going to make sure I distribute the tobacco a little bit more carefully. And I tried to, but when I remember grabbing a whole clump. I thought it was Orientals and Virginias, but it must have just been straight Virginias because there was a quarter of the bowl where it was just Virginia. That's why I like to mix these, but this one, there's so much in it, you can't shake it up and get it mixed real good. I should have like turned it and got it mixed properly. I would say there's just enough Orientals and Latakia to mellow it out, so it's sweet, but it's not bitey or anything. I mean, it really is it's quite a complex, just a really lovely, lovely smoke. I'm so glad that I got two tins. Honestly, I'm gonna see if I can't weasel another one. I'd really like to weasel another one of these tins if I can. That's it for the review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was an excellent blend. I would definitely suggest picking it up if you ever get an opportunity. I will if I can. Until next time, Treetop Piper over and out.